Hey guys, I'm just doing this video here. This is going to be the last video that I talk about this whole Patreon thing and the whole Life of Brian Kelly thing for a while. This is a guitar lesson channel. I know that I will be getting back to the guitar lesson stuff next week. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be starting my live stream next week. That's something I've been wanting to do for a while. So starting, I'm thinking maybe Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to start doing a live stream on YouTube. That's something I've been wanting to do for a while. I like to try and follow my inspiration. You know, whatever my inspiration is telling me that I want to do, I listen to that, I do that. It's telling me live stream is the way to go. So I want to start doing that this week. I just wanted to make this one last video because I do feel the need to clarify my reasoning for shutting down my Patreon page. You know, as a YouTuber, as someone who has an audience, there's always going to be mixed opinions about what I do. Start a Patreon page, there's going to be mixed opinions. Close down a Patreon page, there's going to be mixed opinions, you know? I'm getting the feeling that some people are kind of feeling some sort of way because I'm shutting down this Patreon page, you know? As if, like I'm too good for it or something. Like I'm too good for the donations or something like that. Like I don't want your money, like that kind of thing. People are trying to support me. They're trying to pay me through Patreon, and I'm like, no. One particular comment, I'm not going to repeat the comment, but one particular comment that someone made kind of really got to me. I'm like, wow, is that really how people are feeling about this? I don't know. Well, let me just clarify. I'm going to give you my 5 reasons why this Patreon thing is just not for me, all right? I have to put it behind me. I just want to be done with it, rip the Band-Aid off, accept the consequences, be done with it. Let me give you my 5 reasons, okay? Reason number 1, the obligation. So when you have this Patreon, and I've heard this from other people that are creators on Patreon, like once you do this, you immediately feel obligated to continuously make content. That obligation is not the same as making content on YouTube. When you make content on YouTube, YouTube is a free platform. So I don't feel the obligation. I feel the pull to want to make content on YouTube because I genuinely like doing that, you know? When there's that whole paywall, when there's that recurring subscription, no matter what, I just, even though, the $5 per month was my price or something like that, I feel obligated to make content. So the thing that I felt I just kind of set these rules on myself was, okay, I have to make 2 videos per week. Now, I wanted to originally just make short videos, like 3-minute videos, 5-minute videos. I didn't want it to take up too much time. I've come to find I can't really do that, Like, it's hard for me to just make a 3 to 5-minute video. When I make a video, I have to add all the fretboard diagrams and all the charts and stuff like that. I have to do the full editing. So I felt obligated to make 2 videos per week, fully editing these videos and stuff like that. It was taking up so much time, right? And that time was like, I felt like I had to do it. I had no choice. If I didn't make those 2 videos every week, I was slacking. I don't want to feel like a slacker, so I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. I did it for 8 months straight. So, people are saying like, well, don't do that. Don't make those 2 videos, don't feel obligated to do that. Like, we just want to support you on Patreon. That's the only reason that we're on this Patreon. We don't even care about the videos. Okay, well, that is the opinion of some people. Everyone's going to have a different opinion. So if I just left the Patreon open and I didn't do anything, I didn't make any content at all, some people are going to be like, well, this guy's lazy. This guy's a slacker. This guy's just expecting us to pay us money or pay him money, and he's not even doing any work. Like, that's going to cause a bad taste in people's mouths about me, So if I don't do anything, people are going to have negative opinions about me. If I continue doing what I feel I'm supposed to do, which was the 2 videos per week, then it's overloading me with uninspiring work. Someone was like, well, just, do stuff, but, just don't do it, like, just do a little bit. Like, do short little videos, or just do little licks, or just do PDFs or something like that. Again, this comes down to the obligation of uninspiring work. Like, I really don't want to do that. It's just not inspiring to me. So even if I'm only doing a little bit of stuff, which, again, bring up the whole, like, oh, well, this guy's not doing the correct amount of work, like this guy's lazy, blah, blah, blah. Some people will have that opinion. It's just, even if I'm doing just a little bit of work and I have that obligation to just do that little bit of work each week, whether it's a PDF or short little videos or something like that, that obligation is still going to be there. I'm not inspired to do that at all. So, in all honesty, I just don't want the obligation. I don't want it, man. I want to get back to my YouTube stuff. I want to start this live stream. I want to follow my inspiration. My inspiration is not leading me to do this Patreon stuff. I don't want the obligation anymore, as small as that obligation may be. That is number one. Number two, lack of control. So an incident happened, and this was actually kind of like the thing that set me over the edge, where it was kind of just like, okay, I definitely am shutting down Patreon. I've been wanting to shut down Patreon for a while, but this one particular incident was kind of like the final straw. I have no control over Patreon. I don't own the platform. Patreon.com is the domain. Creators use Patreon.com to upload videos to. Creators only have a certain amount of control. One particular incident, and I've talked about this already, some guy got double charged. I don't know why this person got double charged, but he paid for a year access on Patreon. And then a few months later, he got charged for like another half a year or something. I didn't do that. Patreon did that. But who's the one that's responsible for it? Me. Why? Because I'm the one that's getting paid. This person put their credit card in, and, the credit card is meant to pay me per year or something like that. So they're not going to contact Patreon. They're going to contact me. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'll just refund the person. I go into the Patreon relationship manager. I hit the refund button. Pop-up comes up. It says, you don't have funds in your creator account to refund the person. So I don't have the funds to give the refund. Okay, so I look up online, how do I add funds to my Patreon account? You can't add funds to your creator account. You can't just take money out of your bank account and then put it into your Patreon account. Patreon doesn't give that option. So now I can't refund this guy. The guy was cool with it, which is awesome. And I'm still going to get into contact with Patreon support whenever they decide to get back to me. I emailed him on Thursday. I still haven't heard back from him yet. So the guy was cool about it. He's like, don't worry about it. I understand it's not something that you're in control of. I'm still going to do whatever I can to get this guy back his refund because I don't think that's cool. But it's not in my hands. I have to wait on Patreon support to get back to me, if they ever get back to me, and then hope that they can somehow, make this right. Give this guy the refund back. I don't have control. So even though this only happened to this one person, I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe this happens again. If it happens to someone else, maybe the next person may not be so cool about it. All right? So this is support issues that I am not in control of, but I still have to deal with. Does that make sense? I don't like to not have control over the platform for which I am charging people money for. ZombieGuitar.com is my website. I own that. I fully own that. I have full control. Any support issues that come up, I can handle them. I can't do that on Patreon. I do not own the platform. That's my reason number 2. Reason number 3, there's no email reminder system for annual payments. All right, so Patreon has monthly payments and annual payments. Those are the two options that people that choose to join Patreon can choose, monthly, annual. They don't have an email reminding system. I've even contacted support in the past and asked them about this. I'm like, okay, so people are choosing to do annual payments. Is there going to be an email that gets sent out to them like a week before they get rebilled or something like that, so they know to either stay with it or to cancel if they choose to? I think that's fair. That's the kind of thing that I would like to have in place. Patreon support says no, there's no email reminder system. So what that means is that anyone who paid or signed up for an annual plan is automatically going to get recharged at the end of the year, at the next billing cycle. People forget about annual payments, all right? So I can just foresee what's going to happen in the future. People are just going to get recharged, and they're going to be like, you know what? I didn't feel like paying for another year again. I just wanted to do 1 year of Patreon. I'm not trying to pay a recurring subscription. I didn't get any email reminder or anything. Brian, can you give me a refund? Okay, no problem. And then I'm going to just deal with the same issue where I go to give them a refund, and then there's not going to be any money in my creator account. Maybe there will be, maybe there won't be, depending on what time of month it happens to be. But if there's no money in my creator account, I have to say to that person, sorry, I can't give you a refund. There's no money in my creator account. Maybe they'll be cool with that, maybe they won't. I don't know. I'm not in control of the platform. You can't add funds to your creator account, as I already said. So with however many people are on this annual plan, maybe some will ask for refunds, maybe they won't. those that do ask for refunds, will I be able to give them refunds? I don't know. Hopefully you can see the dilemma. There's no reminder emails in place. I don't have control over the platform. I'm at the mercy of Patreon if I have money in my creator account or not as to whether I can issue refunds. This is a problem. This is a problem that I'm foreseeing for the future. All right. It hasn't gotten to that point yet. I'm shutting down this thing before I even get to that point. I do not want to deal with that. All right. So that's number 3. No reminder emails on the Patreon platform system. Number 4, the video hosting company that shall remain nameless. Any website that uses videos is also working with a video hosting company. All right. The video hosting company that shall remain nameless is the one that I had a problem with last year. Pretty sure most of you guys heard that story. Patreon uses them as their primary video hosting company. So for that reason, I'm still, as long as I keep Patreon open, I'm using that video hosting company. All right. I'm on the absolute lowest plan possible, the plan that I pay $90 a year for, something like that. But still, I'm giving this video hosting company that I don't really want to be giving my money to, I'm still giving them my money. I'm giving them my money every year because that is the video hosting company that works with Patreon. Now, there is some other way that you can use other video hosting companies and integrate it with Patreon. That's like additional tech stuff that's required. The thing that they really, really want you to do on Patreon is they really, really want you to use the video hosting company that they make it easier for. Like when you go onto a service or you go onto a platform, like there's an obvious thing that they want you to try and do. There's like a big button that says upload with video hosting company that shall remain nameless. Like it's right there. So I'm sure I could like somehow find some other video hosting company and work out the tech details and stuff like that and integrate everything together. But I just really don't want to do that, you know? Like I don't want to deal with that extra tech stuff. So it's just much, much easier to just pay the $90 to the video hosting company that shall remain nameless. But as I already told you guys in the past, this video hosting company, I really don't want to be paying them my money. I don't want anything to do with them. And that's also not to say that this video hosting company at one point, they're not going to hit me with the same thing again. They're going to be like, oh, well, you're exceeding your bandwidth limitations. You have to start paying us $5,000 per year or we're going to shut all your videos off. You know, that may happen again. I don't know. They did it to me once. What's to say they're not going to do it to me again in the future? So I'm kind of at the mercy of this video hosting company that shall remain nameless because they work with Patreon. By shutting down Patreon, I can finally cut all ties with this video hosting company, which I would love to do. I never want to talk to that video hosting company again, and I don't want anything to do with that video hosting company. So that's reason number 4. I can finally cut those ties. Reason number 5, it's uninspiring. All right, so, everyone's going to have their opinion about what Brian Kelly does, what Brian Kelly doesn't do. I have to be inspired. All right. I work for myself. I'm not going to get out of bed in the morning and do work that I'm not inspired to do. All right. I'm sorry, but I'm not inspired to do Patreon. I'm just not. I'm inspired to make YouTube videos. I'm inspired to work on my Zombie Guitar website. I'm inspired to do these live streams, which I'm going to be starting to do next week. If I'm inspired to do something, I put all of my effort into it. If I'm not inspired to do it, I can still do it. I can make myself do it. I'm not inspired. All right. I don't feel that needs any further clarification. If you're not inspired to do something, why should I do it anymore? That's reason number 5. All right, guys. So hopefully that helped to clarify where I'm coming from and why I'm leaving Patreon. All right. It has nothing to do with me being above the money or too good for the donations that people are so generous to offer me. I can't say this enough. I'm so appreciative to everything that everyone offers me. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I never expected this. When I started this YouTube channel, when I started this Zombie Guitar, I never expected to have an audience that would be so generous to just be willing to donate to me and stuff like that. Like, I cannot thank you guys enough. Whether you've bought something, whether you've not bought anything, whether you've subscribed to my YouTube channel, whether you taking the time out of your day to watch one of my videos, all of it. Thank you guys. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. This has nothing to do with me being above the money. When I give up this Patreon, when I shut this down, I fully realize that I'm giving up, about $1,000 a month. I'm not above $1,000 a month by any means. I would love to keep that $1,000 a month coming in. Like, that's one of the reasons that I've been putting this off for so long. I don't want to give up that $1,000 a month. But I just absolutely do not want to do Patreon anymore. So I had to weigh my pros and cons. Keep doing the $1,000, or keep getting the $1,000 a month and keep being very unhappy with the Patreon, or just rip the Band-Aid off, give up the $1,000 a month, free up my time, and be able to do stuff that I'm actually inspired to do again. I'm choosing to do that. All right, so I'm going to make up the lost revenue some other way. I don't know whether that happens to be a part-time job, whether that happens to be whatever I have to do. I just don't want to do Patreon anymore. I don't want to do it. I don't like it. I want to be done with it. Hopefully that helps clarify. Again, thank you guys. I'm sorry if some people feel some sort of way about this whole shutting down Patreon thing. It is what it is. All right. Thank you guys. See you next time.